Ever feel like you're constantly chasing happiness, never quite catching it? Life throws challenges at us, and sometimes it feels like we're stuck in a whirlwind of negativity. But what if I told you there are simple, profound rules you can follow to lead a happier, more fulfilling life? Today we'll explore 3 powerful principles inspired by the teachings of the Supreme Buddha that can help you transform your life. Stick around, because these insights might just be the key to finding your peace. Rule 1. Don't hate. Life is too short to waste time hating others. Hatred is like a poison that slowly consumes you from the inside. The Buddha once said, "Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule." Dhammapada verse 5. When we hold on to hatred, we are the ones who suffer the most. Think about a time when you held a grudge against someone. Did it make you feel better? For many people, carrying the burden of hatred only makes their days darker and their nights longer. Imagine a time when you were deeply resentful towards someone. Every interaction might have been filled with tension, and it likely affected your peace of mind. It wasn't until you chose to let go of that hatred and approach the situation with compassion, you began to feel lighter and more at peace. Hatred is an emotion that can take root in our minds and grow, affecting our thoughts, actions, and overall well-being. It creates a barrier between us and others, leading to isolation and suffering. The Buddha taught the practice of metta, or loving kindness, which involves cultivating an attitude of love and goodwill towards all beings, including those who have wronged us. This practice can be incredibly transformative. Imagine sitting in meditation, focusing on your breath and silently repeating phrases such as, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, may I live with ease." As you cultivate these feelings towards yourself, you begin to extend them to others. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you live with ease. This practice can include those who have caused you pain, transforming your feelings of hatred into compassion and understanding. By releasing hatred and embracing love, we free ourselves from the chains of negativity. Life is too short to waste on negative emotions. Instead, focus on cultivating kindness and understanding towards others. This shift in mindset can bring profound peace and happiness. The Buddha's teachings remind us that hatred harms the hater more than the hated. It is like holding a hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. By holding on to hatred, we create a prison for ourselves, limiting our capacity for joy and connection. There are many individuals who struggle with letting go of hatred. One story that stands out is that of a woman who sought guidance after being deeply hurt by betrayal. She was consumed by anger and resentment. Through dedication to practicing metta meditation, she began to experience a profound transformation. She shared how, over time, her heart softened, and she found the strength to forgive. This act of forgiveness was not for the benefit of the person who wronged her, but for her own liberation. She described feeling a weight lifted off her shoulders, and a newfound sense of freedom and peace. Another powerful practice is Tonglen, a Tibetan Buddhist meditation that involves breathing in the suffering of others and breathing out compassion and relief. This practice helps to cultivate a deep sense of empathy and interconnectedness with all beings. When we can see the suffering of others, even those who have wronged us, we begin to understand the root causes of their actions, and our hatred transforms into compassion. Practicing Tonglen can be a profound way to connect with others on a deeper level. During times of conflict or tension, you might sit in meditation and visualize the person you are in conflict. As you breathe in, imagine taking in their pain and suffering, and as you breathe out, send them love and compassion. This practice helps dissolve the barriers of hatred and develop a genuine sense of empathy and understanding. The teachings of the Buddha offer a path to liberation from the destructive power of hatred. By practicing loving kindness, compassion, and understanding, we can transform our minds and hearts, creating a life filled with peace and happiness. As we walk this path, we not only free ourselves from the chains of hatred, but also contribute to a more compassionate and harmonious world. Remember, life is too short to waste on negative emotions. Embrace love and compassion, and you will find a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. As the Buddha said, in this world, hate never yet dispelled hate. Only love dispels hate. This is the law, ancient and inexhaustible. Rule 2. Don't compare. Don't compare yourself to others. Instead, strive to be the best version of yourself. In our age of social media and constant connectivity, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. We see the curated lives of others and wonder why our own lives don't measure up. But the Buddha taught, comparison is the thief of joy. I used to spend hours scrolling through social media, feeling inadequate as I compared my life to the highlight reels of others. It was a never-ending cycle, self-doubt and dissatisfaction. One day, I decided to take a step back and focus on my own journey. I started to appreciate my unique strengths and the progress I had made. It wasn't about being better than anyone else. It was about being better than the person I was yesterday. The moment you stop comparing yourself to others, start to appreciate your own journey. Each of us has our path. It's important to honor that. Embrace your individuality and focus on your personal growth. By doing so, you cultivate a sense of fulfillment and contentment. Comparison is a deeply ingrained habit that often goes unnoticed. It's natural to look at others and assess where we stand about them. However, this habit can lead to unnecessary suffering. The Buddha's teachings remind us to turn our attention inward and focus on our progress and growth. The story of the Buddha's disciple Ananda provides a powerful example. Ananda often compared himself to other disciples who seemed to achieve enlightenment faster. He felt inadequate and questioned his worth. The Buddha gently reminded him that everyone's path is unique and that he should focus on his practice. Eventually, Ananda realized that his constant comparisons were hindering his progress. By embracing his journey and letting go of comparisons, he found peace and fulfillment in his practice. Social media exacerbates our tendency to compare ourselves to others. We see the polished, filtered versions of people's lives and forget that everyone faces their own struggles and challenges. This constant exposure to others' highlight reels can make us feel like we're not doing enough or that we're falling behind. One way to counter this is to practice gratitude. When you feel the urge to compare, take a moment to reflect on what you are grateful for in your own life. This simple practice can shift your focus from what you lack to what you have, fostering a sense of contentment and appreciation. Another helpful practice is mindfulness. By staying present and fully engaged in the moment, you can reduce the tendency to compare. When you catch yourself comparing, gently bring your attention back to your breath and remind yourself that your journey is unique and valuable. Consider the story of the two arrows, parable from the Buddha. When we experience pain or suffering, first arrow, it's a natural part of life. However, when we add to that pain by comparing ourselves to others, wishing things were different, the second arrow, we create additional suffering. By avoiding the second arrow and accepting our path, we can reduce our suffering and find greater peace. In our quest for personal growth, it's important to set our own goals and measure our progress against them, rather than against others. When we focus on becoming the best version of ourselves, we cultivate a sense of intrinsic motivation and satisfaction. This approach encourages us to celebrate our achievements, no matter how small, and to view our setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth. Practice of self-compassion is also crucial. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. Acknowledge your efforts and progress, and be gentle with yourself when you face challenges. Self-compassion helps to build resilience and a positive self-image, which can protect against the harmful effects of comparison. Remember, the Buddha's teachings encourage us to find our path and to honor our unique journey. By focusing on our personal growth and letting go of comparisons, we can cultivate a sense of fulfillment and joy. Life is too short to waste on comparing ourselves to others. Embrace your individuality, appreciate your progress, and strive to be the best version of yourself. In the words of the Buddha, you, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Dhammapada. By loving and accepting ourselves, we can find true happiness and peace. Rule 3. Don't worry. The day you stop worrying will be the first day of your new life. Worrying is like sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do but doesn't get you anywhere. The Buddha wisely noted, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." I used to be a chronic worrier, constantly anxious about the future and things beyond my control. This endless worrying stole my joy and peace. One day, I decided to practice mindfulness and live in the present moment. I began to notice the beauty in everyday experiences and found a deep sense of peace in just being. Worrying about the future robs you of the present moment. When you let go of worries and focus on the here and now, you unlock the door to true happiness. Practice mindfulness and gratitude to center yourself in the present. By doing so, you can approach life with calm and peaceful mind. Worry is a common experience, and it often feels like a natural part of life. We worry about our jobs, our families, our health, and countless other things. However, worrying doesn't change the outcome. It only affects our well-being. The Buddha's teachings remind us to let go of this habit and live fully in the present. In my own life, I found that worry was a constant companion. I worried about things that were beyond my control, like the future or other people's opinions. This worry consumed my energy and left me feeling exhausted and stressed. It wasn't until I started practicing mindfulness that I realized how much I was missing out on the present moment. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully engaged in the present moment, without judgment or distraction. It helps us to break the cycle of worry by bringing our attention back to the here and now. When we are mindful, we can observe our thoughts without getting caught up in them. This practice allows us to see that worry is just a thought, not a reality. A powerful technique for overcoming worry is to practice gratitude. When we focus on what we are grateful for, we shift our attention from what we lack to what we have. This simple practice can transform our outlook and reduce our worries. Every day, take a few moments to reflect on the things you are grateful for. It could be something as simple as the warmth of the sun or the smile of a loved one. By cultivating gratitude, we can create a positive and peaceful mindset. Another technique is to engage in deep breathing exercise. When we are anxious or worried, our breathing becomes shallow and rapid. By taking slow, deep breaths, we calm our nervous system and reduce our anxiety. Practice taking a few deep breaths whenever you feel worried or stressed. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold your breath for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. This simple exercise can help to ground you in the present moment and bring a sense of calm. The story of Kisa Gotami, one of the Buddha's disciples, illustrates the futility of worry. Kisa Gotami was a young mother who lost her only son. Overwhelmed with grief and worry, she went to the Buddha seeking help. The Buddha asked her to find a mustard seed from a household that had not experienced death. She went from house to house, could not find a single household untouched by death. This realization helped her to understand that worry and suffering are part of the human experience. She learned to let go of her worry and found peace through acceptance and mindfulness. It's important to remember that letting go of worry is a gradual process. It takes practice and patience. Start by becoming aware of your worries and acknowledging them without judgment. Then, gently bring your attention back to the present moment. Use mindfulness techniques and practices to ground yourself and reduce your anxiety. By letting go of worry and embracing the present moment, we can create a life of peace and fulfillment. The Buddha's teachings offer us a path to freedom from the constant cycle of worry. When we practice mindfulness and gratitude, we can transform our minds and experience true happiness. In conclusion, don't let worry rob you of your peace and joy. Practice mindfulness, cultivate gratitude, and focus on the present moment. Remember the wise words of the Buddha: do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. By doing so, you can create a life filled with calm and contentment.